There we go. The Victrola VI I was working on today is all done and ready to play. No, it's not. This is actually a completely different Victrola VI. Back there you can see the horn from the one I'm actually working on, which, while it's a 1915 and this one is a 1917, they have the same horn. That, by the way, is the isolated horn, in case anybody was interested in knowing what it looks like. That's what it looks like when it's out of the Victrola VI. All the Victrolas use a similar horn, just bigger or smaller as the case may be, except for the portables. They have different setups. This is a Victrola VI I actually did most of the work on a couple of years ago. It's just been in storage. This is actually out of my personal collection. Wasn't one of the ones I built for sale, but as you can see, my own stuff never seems to get finished. That's the break. One of these days I will get to finish that, probably fairly soon, since I'm working on these now. All day I've been working on a similar machine, cleaning and scrubbing and adjusting and replacing missing parts, that sort of thing. Very similar to this, but that's not the focus of this particular video. I wanted to look at this exhibition reproducer. Now, I found this on eBay a couple of weeks ago, I guess, and every now and then you find someone who's just gotten really creative in trying to make these work. As you can see here, I'm not really sure exactly what they tried to use for the diaphragm. I'm guessing that is some kind of, I don't know, some kind of composite material. This is cork. This is cork right here, but the outer thing, what it's on, some kind of composite material similar to what you'd find used in some of like the Aeolian Vocalion reproducer that I did a couple of years back, several years back. I mean, they didn't do much of the needle bar. That looks pretty much standard. This on the back. Now, they sell a product, you'll see it marketed on eBay. It's called a rubber softener. Sometimes it's called Victrola rubber softener. The idea being that you put this on your Victrola gaskets and it softens them up and they're as good as new. Complete nonsense. Don't buy that crap. Rebuild. If you're going to have a decent playing machine, you need a decent reproducer. Without a good reproducer, this is just a motor spinning. That's it. It's not going to do anything for you. And part of having a properly serviced reproducer is your needle bar has to be correctly straightened to the correct angle, which is when the needle is inserted in there, it's 90 degrees with the body of the reproducer. You need sealed gaskets with no air leaks. You can see these ones are stone. I mean, they've been replaced obviously at some point in the past, but they're hard. So I'm guessing whoever did this work must have done it 50 years ago, you know, somewhere around there. This back gasket, though, feels like it was recently softened. That's obviously very old material. And it's soft, but you notice this? Look at this. Those screws are tight. Look at that massive air leak that you have under there. Massive. That is going to seriously impact your volume, fidelity, everything. It does appear to be an original Victor back gasket, but someone softened the rubber and tried to make do. Now look what they did in there. I'm not really sure what that is. I have no idea. It's some kind of piece of plastic with maybe a little screw in the middle. I'm hoping that's a screw, because if it's not, then they've done something bad to the... Now it looks like it screws on this end. The needle bar is critical. If that's broken, that's $30 to $40 to replace right there. Just that needle bar, if you can find a good one that's not already attached to a reproducer. And in rebuildable condition, reproducers on the auction sites tend to run $45 to $50 these days. And then you're replacing all the gaskets. That's another $40, $50, whatever it is. Sometimes the springs down there too. So you want to try to get one that's got at least a decent needle bar on it. One that's not all bent, twisted, snapped, and broke. Even if it's bent, you can still straighten them. If you're careful with a steady hand, you can still straighten them. But if they're broken, damaged beyond repair, then you might as well throw it out. You're starting from scratch. Very interesting what he's done here, or she, or whoever did this work. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to play it. First I have to get a needle, because I seem to have forgotten to bring them out. Got a little loud tones. I have no idea what condition that reproducer is. Let's see. Now I would do the other Victrola VI, but that one's not going to be ready for some time because it needs a lot of work. And let's see, I didn't bring out the proper needles. I brought the high tones. I brought the low tone. There we go. Because we are working outdoors and tends to be a lot of background noise. The little needles are not going to cut it. Okay, first thing you do on a reproducer is you check to make sure that at least the needle bar is straight and you don't have you don't want to make this into a cutting tool for records. I don't care how bad the record is. I don't want it damaged. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we got here. Well, the alignment looks okay. I can't do anything about the loose back gasket. That's junk, but at least the alignment looks all right. So I'm going to put it on the machine. And we're going to see if we can get this to decently play. Let me make sure nothing's loose on there. Because I am going to rebuild this, obviously. Unless it plays incredibly well, I have no intention of leaving it on there like this. You know, that's not why I bought it. Every now and then I acquire machines that don't have reproducers, especially exhibitions, because they do have a habit of falling off. So when the back gaskets rot, like happened with the last Victrola VI you saw me working on. All right, let's play this one. Actually, the brake does hold somewhat. And we'll see how this weird reproducer actually sounds. Well, color me impressed. I did not expect it to play that well, especially with that back gasket. Obviously, whoever put this together had some idea about what they were doing. And you know what? I suspect they made this box for it too. This doesn't look like a Victrola box that I've ever seen. I think somebody actually made that. Perfectly fitted for this reproducer. Well, what I am going to do is I am going to keep this one the way it is and put it in my collection just as it is. That plays way too nicely to scrap and rebuild. I don't know how they did it and what material they used in there, but it works. Even with, well, I guess that other gasket isn't absolute hard. And it's not your conventional Victrola tubing either. It's too small for that. Some other kind of tubing. Yeah, it's still got some elasticity to it, so I think we're going to keep this one the way it is and just add it to the, look at that, the needle's magnetized somehow. We're going to, I think I will probably replace that back gasket, however. I don't know. Interesting. Very interesting. I did not expect it to play that nice. The seller did not actually list this as an exhibition reproducer because he couldn't read exhibition under there. Can't see through that. So I just listed it as a Victrola reproducer, and the bidding was not exactly brisk. I'm sure if some of the other bidders had understood that this reproducer would play that nicely, they probably would have bid a bit more. Well, I'm going to put that in my collection of just oddball stuff that I get sometimes. I have another exhibition reproducer coming, so I can rebuild that one, and then I have more to rebuild anyway. You know, like this one, I just did this one. This one needs to be tested, so while I'm doing this, I will test this one to make sure everything is as it should. This one is totally conventional. It's a normal, ordinary reproducer. And by the way, if anybody want to know what that record is, it is a Taxi, Joseph C. Smith. And on the flip side, we have Where the Lanterns Glow, which I won't play right now, but let's see if we got something else here. Button Up Your Overcoat, the Hollywood Dance Orchestra. Huh, well, we'll see how that plays. That should be a good one to play with this reproducer. There we go. We need another needle. I just rebuilt this one last night. It has not been tested yet at all, so this is its inaugural test.
Take good care of yourself, you belong to me.
go. Button up your overcoat. Very popular song from the Jazz Age and beyond. We'll do another one. Let's see. A little wear on that one from the Banner label. I have 3 or 4 records I just grabbed off the top of the pile. We just played that one. How about... what do we got here? Ain't We Got Fun? Oh, Ain't We Got Fun? I think Walt Disney put that to put one of his cartoons to music with that one. Something with mice. Or maybe it was somebody else that did it. Not really sure. Let's hang it up. Okay. Sold by the J.W. Jenkins and Sons Music Company. I think that's what this says. Yeah. Wonder where they were. This machine actually came out of Florida. It was a big collection down there that was auctioned after the owner died. These are one of 2 machines I ended up with that one. Both of them were 6s from that collection. And they hadn't been touched. You know, this one had a broken spring, if I remember. Or maybe it was the other one. One of them did, anyway. I think one of them I actually put Victrola VI springs in. Might be this one. Okay. Let's spin that one up. There you go. All right, who wants to hear that oddball reproducer one more time? By the way, that one over there is the reproducer that actually belongs on this machine. So that's not what I'm testing, just a normal reproducer that is ordinarily played on this one. I think this one's okay. Sounds good. I'll play a lot more records with it eventually, but I'll use it on the machine that I'm currently working on, the 6 that is in pieces at the moment, and use that for testing on it. Well, let's play this oddball one more time at least, and see how she goes. Since I have it here, and it's not likely to be on video anytime soon, so we'll play another one just to make sure it wasn't a fluke. For some reason, this needle's a little hard to get in the hole there. Not sure why. Maybe there's a little dirt in there. I have to check that. Okay, gunfire. Must be hunting season. Let's see, what's on the back of this one? Scandinavia. We'll try that one. By the Benson Orchestra of Chicago.
That played pretty good. Not bad at all. But that'll go into my collection. That's not going to go onto a particular machine. That and its box, somebody put a lot of time and effort into that. Because there was a time when you had to do that because there just weren't enough people collecting these machines for aftermarket industries to spring up making things like back gaskets and reproducer, diaphragm gaskets and diaphragms themselves, things like that. Other, like the springs on there. They're unobtainable. And you know, if you didn't happen to have a good junk shop in your town that had a bunch of them, you were kind of on your own and you had to use your creativity. And that's what someone did here, I guess. They came up with a solution and it played well. I just kind of wonder what sort of machine that was on. And it must have been, obviously you're not going to build a reproducer if you don't have a machine to play it on, but I don't know, maybe they kept it for a spare. You never really know. And you know. Yeah, that's okay. I can get another exhibition to rebuild. They're always around. I always keep 3 or 4 in inventory because I know I'll need them. And they're one of my favorites to work with. So, and that box too, just real nice. Oh well, there's another look at this. This has been in a previous video, like 2 years ago, something, maybe 3 years ago. I forget. It's one of my nicer 6s. It's very, very light colored. That is golden oak. Only a slight haze of age on there. Usually they're darker than this. Sometimes because they're fumed oak, but more often because shellac darkens with age, especially when it's exposed to sunlight for a long, long time, like 80, 90 years. So, I mean, you can see that the felt is very lightened. So this must have been in sun at some point, but not enough to, or maybe just someone kept it really clean, you know. It came out of that collection in Florida, but I had the impression looking at it, they really obviously hadn't been getting played by anybody. It needed a full service when I got it. You know, the motor had to come out, everything had to be cleaned and greased, and the spring was replaced on one or the other of them. But every now and then you'll find one like this that's just very light colored. I've had some Victor Victrola 50s like this too. Either way, you know, as long as it's original, I don't care. Patina's fine with me. Yeah, I'd rather have an original patina on there, dark finish, kind of like you see on that horn ending there, than have somebody have splattered